How do you say God in Russian? For 25,213 monkey points. If you get enough monkey points, you get something.
God.
No, not Putin either. Vogue.
Oh.
Vogue. B-O-G. Yeah, Vogue. Yeah, yeah. There was no real culture pretty much until the Orthodox Church came there. Before that, there was just, a lot of, even now they have folk music, folk stories, and this kind of stuff. There was a verbal tradition. And strangely enough, part of that thing they find them is these three faces, right? And you can kind of like, really match them up with Jagannath, Baladev, and Subhadra, but those that keep occurring like really long time ago. Basically uncivilized place. Even what's his name? His name is a sannyasi there. Bhakti Vidya some of the very, he was BBC everything. He was saying they're really uncivilized until they finally adopted Orthodox Church. It's the whole story. Anyway, but then Bogue. How do you say God in Spanish?
Dios.
Huh?
Dios.
How do you say God in French?
You.
How do you say God in India? Bhagavan or Hari? Hari? Yeah, so we believe in God, Hari. How many people here believe in God? This is it. Gotta make your choice. Okay. That's it. Okay. We believe in God. We believe in gurus. When the Protestant Revolution came on with the Catholic Church, which is a whole tradition, they felt it was really corrupted. Even the Catholic Church has some agreement with that. Then they got rid of all the saints, right? All the gurus coming down, saint, whatever. One thing they would do is they would take the relics of the saints and put them right under the doorway, so everybody walking into the church would step on them. That was like, so it became a very, very much. Actually Martin Luther, he's one of the biggest, Protestant guys. His slogan was solo, which means only solo fido gracioso escritura, solo fida gracioso escritura. That all you need is faith, shraddha, basically shraddha, shastra, and acharya kripa. That enough? Shraddha,
seems like
shastra, and acharya kripa. So all you have to do is basically you need the Bhagavad Gita as it is, Srila Prabhupada, and you should be faithful. Yeah, yeah. But that's the whole point. Actually, even probably they were eliminating even Prabhupada. They would go back basically to basically Jesus Christ. My God, this back to yeah, they got really back there, but even before Lord Chaitanya, basically. Maybe okay, at least no, all you need to do is believe in Lord Chaitanya, so on. I know devotees people come to ISKCON, everything else, and then they've lost faith in Prabhupada when they worship, they go to Bhakti Siddhanta directly, and Prabhupada's not representing him in so many ways. So it's a very important feature. We believe in God. We believe in great saintly personalities, gurus who are representing him. Specifically, we're saying it's parampara. In the credo, we believe in one God, Father Almighty, maker of heaven and earth, by all things are created, who for us men and our salvation is incarnated as Jesus Christ, born of the Virgin Mary. I believe in one God. Like step one baptism for the remission of sins. I believe in one Catholic and Apostolic Church. Catholic means universal. Apostolic means coming down. Yeah. So they also have this emphasis on apostolic succession. Even also the Muslims also. And they argue about it. They kill each other over who's Okay, so it's us. Yeah, we believe in God. We believe in our saints and traditions like that. Hari Guru, Vaishnava. Yeah, then we believe in the association of devotees. One time we were doing a program in Lima, Peru. It was interfaith private program, very nice. It was sponsored by the Department of Philosophy or something at the San Marcos University, which is the oldest university in the Western world. So anyway, it was going on, and one of the guys was a Sufi, which is Muslim tradition. I forgot when they came in. Reading it. Oh yeah, it was with what's his name? Famous Sufi poet.
Rumi.
Huh? Rumi. Yeah, Rumi. He's big, translated all over the place. So anyway, he's the guy who then stimulated the Sufi tradition. and everything else. So anyway, he was talking about everything, and again, so many things were just the same as what we're talking about. Once you understand the descriptions, Teresa's crystal palace, and this and our like creeper growing up. Yeah, it's the same thing as you realize. Billy Graham is talking about you got to associate with Christians, you got to read the Bible. Yeah, okay, yeah. So then the questions and answers I asked him, how important is the association of devotees in Sufi tradition? And he was like shocked. God, somebody actually understood what I was saying. Somebody was like, And he said, well, in Sufi tradition, you advance on two legs, the association of devotees and the mercy of God. That's it. The association of devotee and the mercy of God. So that's what we believe. We believe in God. We believe in, what you call it, says great traditional saints we have. And we believe in it, hanging out with devotees. Hari Guru Vaishnava Bhagavata Gita. What does that mean?
Scripture.
Yeah.
Bhagavad.
Bhagavata is Srimad Bhagavatam, and Gita, Bhagavad Gita. So that's it. We believe in God, we believe in our acharyas, we believe in the association of devotees, and we believe in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. So very distinguishing. I've noticed when I come in the afternoon, there's always somebody here. I mean, different levels of people. And many times people are coming because they got some mission. I mean, they just many times. They have the boy coming. Randy came. Right, was Randy still here? They had some mission coming. And then two Indian boys came in, the young men, and talking. Yeah, sure enough, one of them was the first time coming. Another person, Deepesh one. Yeah. Yeah. And so you have to know how to talk with them and stuff. And it's quite insignificant in many ways. This is why when you go to the temple in Delhi, do they emphasize books in the temple in Delhi? How do they do that? Yeah. With people there. Yeah. Well, they have more and more people coming. But also they have the biggest Bhagavad Gita in the world. Now you want to be a book distributor and go like that. So, hey, man, take this book like that. Yeah. So yeah, it's who's going to read it? Like that. Maybe somebody come and look at a page. I don't know who turns the pages. God, what do they do? I don't know. But the thing is, it's kind of like saying this is important. But come on, we all coming here and just one of the Mahabhagavat Dasi. She said when she first came to temple, just her lifestyle and everything else, she was just like zoned out. Basically, any intelligent person in this world wants to get zoned out. You begin to realize this. At any moment we could all be nuked to death. Any moment we could all be burned to death by some virus. Just the World Health Organization, one time they said, with the world transportation the way it is, any super virulent virus would be all over the world in 3 days. It goes to this airport, it goes to this airport. Sometimes it's almost happened, and stuff like that. It can be down to the level, and give it an incubation period of 5 days, so nobody would know it was all over the world until it's too late. And in 10 days, the world population is down by 87%. Feel safe. Feel safe, punk. It's just any sane person is looking for, to get intoxicated or something. So she said she came into the temple in Portland, and Dina Bandhu was there, and he was pouring these beads out in front of her. And she was like trying to focus on what was happening. He's saying something. And she got the beads and she started chanting and she hung on like that and stuff. And that pulled her out. So different people are on different levels. Books are for intellectual people for the most part. In many ways like that. My father had one book on the table. It's mother's chair, father's chair, television. It's kind of the standard thing. And table in between. And they would watch Highway Patrol or something like that. Standard stuff they would watch. The bizarre thing was I figured out I could figure out like within the first 10 minutes what the whole story was like that. I was like, and if I told them they would angry at me. How did you know that? Well, because they got to introduce a good guy, they got to introduce the bad guy. And one of the guys who's a minor player was kind of squeezy. He's going to be the bad guy in the end. It's just like, God. So anyway, he had one book on his table there. Never, it's the only book I ever saw was Rommel, the Desert Fox. I don't know how it got there. He would started reading a few pages every night, and he finished the whole thing. But that's the only book he ever read in his entire life. I guess it's okay. So books are for intellectual people. But that doesn't mean you can't give them to people to who will become Sankirtan partners, right? We're going out about book distribution, not looking to distribute books, but to make Sankirtan partners of people, right? Hey, come on, take a few of these for your friends. What do you think? And they're thinking, hey, what is this? Let me check it out here. I don't read myself, but let me check this out. Yeah, Sankirtan is the Dharma for this age. It's not Jnana. It's a different age, So getting people engaged, and then the book goes out. They take it, they put it someplace, and I mean, you find books in the strangest place. Charu Das was at Salt Lake. He said he used to go with his family to his aunt's house they had a nice big house out in the country. And he would go and spend the weekends and stuff. And it was a nice place to play. There's some people there, and it was in the forest type area and stuff, and a very nice place to play. But one weekend it was raining, so for the kids it was miserable. So there was a landing. There was the stairs, landing, and the stairs going up. In between this little space. And as I remember, he was saying, there was a little bookcase there, and there was one of Prabhupada's books. And I don't know, somehow or other his aunt had got it or something, just sticking there in this bookcase which nobody ever used, and he pulled it out. Yeah, yeah. So that's our process. Get the books out, and it's again, people just one word, everything else, right? There's benefit, but in terms of what does Krishna say in the end of the Bhagavad Gita? He says, "One who reads this Bhagavad Gita worships me with his intelligence." He points to his head here. So, intelligence. Yeah. So it's it. It's an intellectual process, right? What Krishna is teaching. Okay, non-confidential knowledge is that a happy life means to eat good, sleep good, right? Have some little romance. What's the other one? And not be killed. It's a good day when you don't get killed, right? Eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. And bears have the same philosophy. The bears in the jungle, it's a jungle, the zoo, were really upset because, what are you going to do? It's ridiculous. And you think you're in there with a bear and stuff in this little cage, It's really ridiculous, all these animals. They have a right to be totally paranoid and weird and everything else, But at the same time, too, they don't get cancer and all this kind of stuff. So, there's what do you call it, a trade-off there. And then the wild, animals don't do so well. Anyways, okay, so these bears are in there and bored to death. So they would come out. They would go into their little night cave and kind of lock them up in there and clean up and stuff. And in the morning, the bear would come out, like that himself. And so what they would do is they would put the food in different places, right? They would hide it or they'd put it up someplace, and then the bear would have to go around looking all day or figure out how to get up on this tree and get this banana down or whatever it was, monkeys or whatever the bears eat, And then they discovered the bears were much more animated. They had something to do all day. Yeah, this is life. Life means, going out, trying to find food, and get stuff and look over at the people like that. And, how are you doing? Oh, I'm okay. Yeah. This was here yesterday, but that was there. And once a year, a little romance. And hey, it's a good life, man. I mean, really, they were very much more satisfied. Bears like one more thing. In the forest, they've discovered this by putting cameras in the forest. You know what it is? Bears love to scratch their backs. So, God, they have these cameras up. There'll be some this perfect tree, rough tree, and the bears will just sit there, like this, going up and down like that, like this. They have cameras, all these hairs in the tree and stuff. It's okay. So you got to understand everybody's mentality. If you get this far away from a cat and put your finger in front of his nose, they're forced to smell. Butterbarden told me this like 50 years ago, and I've tried it again and again. Of course, you got to get them, before they run away. But if you catch them like this far from their nose, they're just forced to smell. Even if they want to run away, everything else doesn't matter. It's a reflex they have. Okay. Lions and tigers are different. You're in the zoo, right? And the circus, right? Making all the lions and tigers, Jai Haridas from Africa with his pistol, and the lions are jumping through the hoops and stuff, Be careful about putting them together because they'll kill each other. They have a whole, I don't know, it's not a racial thing. It's a whole species thing. When they get really, somehow or other, they get into the mood, they'll start killing each other. Now, the lions are group animals. The tigers are solitary. There's 4 tigers and 4 lions. The tigers will just sit there, giving verbal encouragement to the tiger who's being killed by the 4 lions. It won't help. But if the tiger attacks a lion, then the 4 other lions will help him like that, and so on. Very, psychology. And then also they know that if you get within, I think it's 6 feet of a lion, he's forced to attack. It's the same thing. Even these guns are going off, the whip, everything else, he knows. So they're there. They push them, everything else, but they know. You don't give him that distance because that's what it doesn't matter what you do. You can shoot him, he's going to still come at you. So this is one level, right? Eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. Right? So Bhagavad Gita talks about confidential knowledge, right? Right? Yeah. And what is that confidential knowledge? He's making finger signs here.
Oh, I just wanted to know.
Oh. No, you haven't read Bhagavad Gita. The confidential knowledge is we're not the body. That's fortunate, right? It's not true. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're not the body. Yeah. So that's the beginning. And then Krishna spends a whole chapter like giving examples. As your clothes come and go, everything's changing, your body changes. Hey, you're not the body. Yeah, that's a big deal. Does Christianity preach that in general? Not really. I mean, there's you die and you bury the body because at the time of resurrection they're going to blow the trumpet and everybody's going to come out. And some sects of Judaism say don't pierce your nose and ears because you have to go to heaven and you'll have holes in your nose and ears. The body is going to be glorified. Yeah. Okay. So it's kind of in the right directions. Yeah. The body can be spiritualized. But that's just it's just completely like, you have a frozen sponge, right? A square, green, frozen sponge. Is there steam there? No. It's there. Is there a potential of steam there? Yeah. But first off, you got to warm it up, right? And then you discover that a square sponge can fit into a round hole. Okay, so this is ethics, morality. It's all over the place. When we're preaching it, the Bible's preaching it. Okay, you follow this and you become a little bit, more flexible. Okay, then the next thing is you start to squeeze it, right? And this is the austerities. Get up early in the morning, follow these 4 principles, chant Hare Krishna. You start to squeeze, squeeze yourself out. I see during the day I become absorbed in my body. I come in, I'm chanting, and I can actually, chant in such a way that, my intelligence starts to become stimulated. I start to chant with meaning, what's it about, and I start to disidentify, my gross body, which at this age is a good thing, right? The body's pushing you not to identify it. Maybe when you're 25 years old, if you're younger, you like to identify with your body. It's beautiful, has a good future. Yeah, but when you're older, yeah. Okay, so we squeeze the sponge and the water comes out. But there's still some left there. And that's actually one Jewish guy, he told us, we also believe the soul is different than the body, but we believe the same way, like when we squeeze it and everything else, but there's a little bit left there. So we don't go ahead and, burn it up or anything, But yeah, the soul's different, but some of it's still stuck. Like a coffee cup. After you pour the coffee out of a styrofoam cup, that's the example he gave. There's still some little beads of coffee there. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, but our process is known. Then what do you do next? You squeeze it, and then what are you going to do? This is anartanda vritti nishta bhava. Apply heat. Because there's still some anartha, still some attachments, all the way up to bhava, the last stage, and then you apply the heat, right? And then the water already out turns to vapor, and whatever vapor is in the sponge also goes. And then there's this dry. Yeah, the vapor flies wherever it wants to go. So, yeah.
That's dead.
Huh?
That's you're dead. You're dead. That means
well, it looks that way. It looks like a dead body. Yeah, but that's for people that can only see the body. They don't see the steam, going off. Yeah. So confidential knowledge in the Bhagavad Gita is we're not the body. Okay. And there's three kinds, right? Confidential. The more confidential knowledge is we have spiritual life. Okay, yeah, well, it's not the body, but we are, spiritual beings. Okay. Yeah. And finally, the most confidential knowledge, which is what, chapter 9? Chapter 9? Yeah. Is that our non-bodily existence as people is related to Krishna as servants. And we're all servants of God. Yeah. And of course, you can talk about it. It doesn't penetrate at all. But later on, you begin to go through the process and it becomes, more and more realized. You realize, my first temple president, his name was actually the second one. The first one fell down. Bhutatma. He had some problems. And Brahmachari. Bhutatma in Los Angeles. Nice guy. Very nice. But he was supposed to be a Brahmachari, this and that. But then he was having problems. And so, okay. And then he got married and went on, that. But then actually, when I moved in, it was Bhaktadas. He's still around. So he said when he was initiated, he asked Prabhupada, or else Prabhupada, your name is Bhaktadas, That means you are a servant of the devotees, right? Servant of the devotees. He said, the more in any situation, material or spiritual, the more you think you are a servant, the more you will become happy, right? Material or spiritual. And the more you think you are the master, the more you will go to hell. Yeah. There's one big black lady, and you know her. She was a brigadier general in the U.S. Army. I retired a long time ago. But she was a solid person. I mean, mess with her. She said when she was growing up, she would load 100-pound sacks of stuff onto trucks with other men and stuff like that. And so she's an army girl. And I never got married or not. But her philosophy of life was just because we're occupying space in this world. How many people here are occupying space in this world? Yeah, okay. Just because of that, you have a debt to other people. Or to speak of getting this resource or that resource, the government's giving you this and that. No. So she had a very, very generous attitude towards people. So that's what Prabhupada was saying. The more we think that we are a servant, I've seen that. It's any situation you think, I'm here to serve. Don't become your enemy's enemy. I remember it's one purport, and you get these phrases. Somebody's your enemy, right? It's a natural thing is to become his enemy, right? Or her enemy, or its enemy. Yeah. Machine. I hate this machine. Yeah. And then don't become your enemy's enemy. No, remain a servant, And then you're serving this person, even though they're out to get you, then you begin to this totally the practical opportunity. Constitutionally, Jivara Swarubhoi, Krishnara Nityadas. We are servants. It's our position. And so if we're not in a position, then we have unlimited strength, unlimited resources, unlimited abilities, and they can increase more and more. So the longer we're in a service attitude, we have full control over ourselves, our environment, whatever Krishna gives us, self-control. And we're no longer, Vaisheshika says the same thing. He said, don't become a victim. Yeah, don't become a victim. That's your choice if you're a victim. No, I'm not a victim. This is happening, but I can dodge it, I can respond, I can whatever. But I'm trying to help these people, trying to help these people who are harassing me. 90% of the cases, people who are harassing you don't even know who you are, right? Either they're harassing your position, your post, or something about you. Carl Jung kicks off some kind of thing in them. This something about you, something which is not you. It's not me. It's just my character. I know I got this character. Yeah. And then sometimes, yeah, people have a legitimate complaint. You say, thank you, Socrates and Shakespeare, and also Chanika Pandit. They all said it's better to have a wise man for an enemy, right, than a fool for a friend. Better to have a wise man for an enemy than a fool for a friend. Yeah, a fool for a friend. Yeah, but a wise man as an enemy, he'll be, you know, criticizing everything else in a way that you can, take advantage of. Advantage of the when the Americans first attacked. How do I? He's not going. Yeah, where did the Americans first enter into World War II? As a military force.
In Japan, right? Or not in
Well, I guess maybe that was it. Yeah, the very beginning, but on large scale, it was in North Africa. North Africa. That's when they came with an army and everything else and so on. And the Germans, Rommel and everybody else were dealing with them. Rommel basically, and I said, I noticed they all had the characteristic of a new commander, of inexperienced commanders in an unpredictable situation. Because Europe was they lived war. It's going on, like the French against the Germans against the French, the Austrians against nothing but whole history of war. How to do it. United States didn't have much. There, so they were coming into these situations. They're these generals. Eisenhower was actually in charge of that army. What to do? He's throwing stuff which is not in the book. They all know the same book. They're all looking at Hannibal. They're all looking at all these traditional, things like that and stuff. And they knew how to deal with those. But Rommel was, tossing in stuff which wasn't there. And he said, I can see that these are inexperienced people and stuff. And they were like giving him a hard time. You beat them in this battle, beat them in this battle. But one thing that came up was that the Germans also realized that these people take a lesson. These people take a lesson, and they learn very quickly, how to deal with situations like that. So America, innovation, maybe sincerity of purpose and stuff, yeah. So yeah, we give somebody our enemy, somebody's harassing us, and we look at it and say, yeah, it's true. Okay, taking a lesson from this. Thank you. Yeah. You could criticize me more, and then yeah, it's gone. I don't have the problem anymore. So Bhagavad Gita, very nice. What are the four essential verses of Bhagavad Gita? The first verse numbers. What verse numbers? Four essential verses.
chapter 10.
Huh?
Chapter 10.
I'm on here, chapter 10. I'm going blind. Okay. Okay. 40% blind. Yeah. Okay. Chapter 10, verse number.
8.
Now, this is weird because here are the pictures. The pictures.
Oh.
It's 10:8. You see, 108, we use that all the time, 108 beads, all the things. So 10:8, 108. 108, 109, 110, 111. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, in the end of the chapter, says these are the first, he said, these are the essential verses of Bhagavad Gita. See, it's nice to study, nice to contemplate. We got, a few more minutes here. This is it. Big book. This is not the Bhagavad Gita. The actual Bhagavad Gita is about maybe this thick. Yeah, just the verses. Yeah. Actually, Gita Press sells a little one this big. Yeah. So this is the Bhagavad Gita as it is. With word by word translations, all this stuff. And then purports. Yeah. So the purports probably goes all the way to Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. Many times he says that the Bhagavad Gita is saying is too simple. It's not applicable in the modern world. You shouldn't really concern yourself with these things. You should go right to Bhagavatam and everything else. But it is. It's a very basic, fundamental text. If you're studying karate, what do they teach you? Teach you first. Well, that's a little bit later. It's a down block, front block, front kick, down block. What is that Karate Kid? The guy said, yeah, the Karate Kid guy. He has him like that, doing that for 2 hours. Yeah, yeah. I mean, one guy, he was a really high scorer. He did nothing other than down block and front kick, but he was good at it. That was like, yeah, that was good. Yeah, these are basics. So this is basically it. You're not the body. There is a God, and you're a servant. You know, and that's about as far as it goes. It doesn't even talk about God really. You know, it's a little bit in there, some little things, even Vrindavan, a little bit tiny. But the main aspect, how is God presented in the Bhagavad Gita? Mostly as huh? Yeah, Paramatma. He's everywhere. He does this. He does that. So forth, so on. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And this is what's very basic. I got the Krishna book first, and I really kind of got into that. It was just for me, second volume. Dwarka. But then Bhagavad Gita I got when I went to the temple later on, and for me it was just like boring because I knew this. I mean, but from whatever I knew about reincarnation, everything else made sense, and it was like already picking it up, whether sources and so on. But as you go on, it's good. If you're gonna, how deep is the foundation for this building?
Depends on the soil of it.
Yeah. What do you think?
I would
How deep is the foundation for your house? How big is it?
8 inches.
Yeah, it's probably block, probably a pure foundation, which is blocks, right? It's cement blocks. Probably what it is. That's probably because you can have a mat foundation, which is a big cement mat with like I hardly remember this with rebar in it. Okay, that's your foundation. Or also your pure foundation is you have your little things, with cement, with a piece of wood inside, and you put your beams on that, and the whole house is again like maybe like it's 8 inches off the ground. So your whole foundation probably about 8 inches. Do you think this building has an 8 inch foundation?
Oh, it's too bad.
Yeah. How much? 20 feet?
It probably has a foundation with piers drilled into the ground where the load bearer.
Yeah. Yeah. See, every source you can become Krishna conscious. The phenomena and the noumena. Yeah. I mean, when I was out there with Hari Lila and the other guy on board, they have somebody who said we just got into it. They were discussing the whole structure of the building. What was it, Rusty Kendra? Yeah. Yeah. And the Hari Lila, they were getting into the whole thing about what these are I beams apparently, but they're not being I beams or cup beams. It's like the whole thing, the span stuff. Yeah. Yeah. But if you notice, there's not a full span here, right? How many of these columns are load-bearing columns? Sometimes they're ornamental. I have a suspicion every single one of these is a load-bearing column. They're not ornamental. Maybe I don't know. These are all same spacing. Aha, over here we have no load-bearing columns on both sides. Haribo. Yeah, I know. They got a beam, and that beam is probably about this thick, right? Yeah, yeah. This is behind the phenomena. And behind the phenomena. Yeah. So same way is that if you want to go ahead and go to Goloka, that's a 50-story building, right? Yeah, 60-story building. Vaikuntha is only 20 stories. Yeah. That means your foundation has to be better and better, better and better. So that's what happens. The more you go up to Krishna book, all these, Jaiva Dharma, this stuff, you keep Bhagavad Gita becomes more and more like it's important. You begin to realize that more and more what Krishna is saying, the principles like that. You got to give up intoxication. Well, in the beginning, this may be, heroin. I know people they came here heroin addicts, okay, but they wanted to go straight into it. So then the temple president made the arrangement you could eat as many gloves as you wanted to, and then go on Harinam and just chanting for 6 hours with the devotees and come back. And it was cold turkey. You went 2 weeks with no heroin for 2 weeks and just chanting every day like a madman eating gloves and that was it. He started, eating less gloves. So yeah, it's just that we we got to get back to the basics. In the beginning, no intoxication means something else, but then later on, Prabhupada says too much. Says sugar turns to alcohol in the blood. So it's too much sugar, you start getting diabetes and stuff, right? Yeah. So yeah, it's become more and more subtle. How much sugar did Bhakti, what's his name? Gorkishore Babaji? You know how much sugar he took? Nothing. Nothing. He didn't need sugar. He would just eat raw rice soaked in water with crushed chilies. Nothing else. He was just crushing chilies, put it in the water and put some uncooked rice in it. Then after like about one day, that was what he would eat.
Wouldn't they cook it just so?
No, and chilies kill anything. Yeah. And And the rice is, it soaks. It's, yeah, of course, it grinds your teeth down too. Yeah, yeah. So very different kinds of people. So Bhagavad Gita, going over the fundamentals again and again. Okay, here we got 10.8. I can find it very quickly. I just go to the picture section. There it is. Where'd it go? Disappeared. Okay. Somewhere here. Yeah. See, they asked me for a topic. We're getting to it. Probably the last 1 minute. Yeah. Okay. Bhagavad Gita 10.8. You got it there. Aham. What does that mean? I am. Okay. Okay. Aham sarvasya. What does sarva mean?
What?
All. So sarvasya means of all. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mataha sarvam pravartate. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. Can you say that?
And the source.
No. Can you declare that? You can say, you can repeat it. Yeah. Yeah. What are you the source of? Are you the source of an automobile? Can you give people an automobile to use? Yeah. Yeah. Are you the source of some clothes for people? Are you still the source of $4,000 or $5,000 loan? No. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So we're the source of stuff. I got a credit card. If somebody needs it, we can go ahead and charge. I forgot what it was. The balance on it is, But Krishna says, "Aham sarvasya prabhavo mata sarvam pravartate." We believe in one God, Father Almighty, Maker of heaven and earth, by whom all things are created. That's it. That's a shooting words phrase. I mean, the credo is fixed. So they believe in one God, Father Almighty, personal relationship, creator of heaven and earth, by whom all things are created. So, hey, we're on the same page here. Maybe disagree about details, but let's stand together in front of the abortion clinic. Yeah, yeah. Okay, what else? Okay, next phrase. Iti matva. Thus knowing. Iti, thus knowing. Iti matva. Bhajante mam. They worship me. Iti matva bhajante mam. Buddha Baba Samanditaha. With great attention and concern. Okay. I am the source of all material and spiritual worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. Yeah. Now, in the purport, Prabhupada will just paraphrase the verse. Then after that, he comes to the point, he says, people who have information from authorities like Lord Chaitanya and the scriptures and know how to apply it can know that Krishna. So that's how you know it. You have scriptures, Lord Chaitanya, and you apply it. Those three things. Very nice. Then after that, the entire rest of the purport is just going down to scriptural resources. He's quoting from the Narayana Purana, all this stuff. He's showing why. Is it for hippies? Yeah. Yeah, well, not really, Yeah, but other people, yeah. This Bhagavad Gita is for 10,000 years. This Bhagavad Gita is to fight with, we call it Mayavadi Sampradayas. You can do it. You start quoting this stuff in here, these guys, this is, growling. This is very heavy references here. Okay, I'm the source. I'm the source of all. Everything comes from me. Those who know it perfectly worship me with all their hearts. Well, how do they worship him? Next verse. Machita magata prana. Yeah, they worship me with their air, the prana, their very life air. I'm the goal of their existence. Their minds are fixed upon me, machita. Bodhiantash. Bodhianta. Parashparam. And they're always discussing me amongst themselves, talking about me, everything else. Katyams ma, katyams cha, mam nitya. Yeah. What are they talking about? They're talking about my pastimes, my activities. Tushyam ti.
Kushanti.
Happiness.
Happiness.
Cha and Ramanti.
Man.
I guess Kushanti is satisfaction, I guess, and Ramanti is happiness. Yeah. Machyata Magata Prana Bodhyanta Sparashparam Katyam Macha Mamnitya Tushanti Charamanti Cha. The thoughts of my pure devotees, people who are Bhajante Mam, dwell in me. So what are you thinking about? Any moment, stop yourself and what are you thinking about? Well, getting how to how did the temple get those trucks? I walk across every day. I walk there. I see these food for life trucks, and God, what is it? There's so many trucks, and it's so expensive even to use them. And I just am thinking about, yeah. Okay, okay. The thoughts of my devotees dwell in me. Their lives are fully surrendered unto me, prana, and my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about. Sometimes you go by a Christian church and the service is going on, and inside the priest is saying his words, and maybe half the congregation and three quarters is there. But some people are outside in their Sunday dress, smoking a cigarette, talking about their new cars or their insurance policies or this kind of stuff. They haven't got a taste for the talking about it yet. But you meet other people there, whatever, maybe they're eating some meat or something, but still you see they really just talking about it. They've got a taste for it somehow or other. So that's he's saying the symptom. People just love. I don't know how many people myself, it's pretty common. Once you get public books and everything else, you just drive your family nuts because all you do is talk about Krishna. It's, why don't you talk about something else? And because you know there is nothing else. It's this problem. It's just, but I realized that with Christianity was like kind of like a dull light, in my life. When it came to Prabhupada, it was just like the light just went up. The same thing, but it was just like, wow, everything became that. So that's the symptom, especially talking about things. Prabhupada said, like when two scientists are working on some problem, they come together and they're just talking like anything. So two devotees meet and they're talking about their experiences, what's happening, their Sankirtan process, everything else. Okay, the devotees worship me with all their hearts because they know I'm God. They do that by always thinking about me, surrendering their life to me. I'll get up in the morning, I'll chant Hare Krishna if I die. Right? Better to die walking to Mangalarti. Isn't that nice? No. Prabhupada says the only excuse for not coming to Mangalarti is an inability to crawl. I see people out there. I know when the boy was in Vancouver, really, really very difficult to walk. And you'd be walking, it would take him about 10 minutes to walk, maybe like a 2 minute thing from the ashram, but he would do it every day and stuff. So yeah, where's that guy going? It's going to Monarchic in the spiritual world. Okay, the prana is submitted to me. They're always thinking about me. They're always chanting about me. What happens then? Pesham satata yuktanam.
Pesham satata yuktanam.
Bhajantam priti purvakam. Dadami buddhi yogam tam.
Dadami buddhi yogam tam.
Yena mam upayantate. Haridas. What does it say there? No. Translation.
To those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me.
Yeah. So here it is. Those who are constantly devoted. Well, you think, well, how can you come to Krishna if you're already constantly devoted in love? So you're already there, But it means when you're doing your sadhana and stuff, you're chanting everything else. You keep following the process. You bow down 6 times a day to Mecca. You go to what is it, Mecca to do charity and Ramadan. Yeah, it's different process in different religions and stuff. If you're Ramanuja Sampradaya, they're much Madhva, but they're very much into puja and stuff. I know the devotee I initiated. Like he left ISKCON, and very respectful because he was just so attracted to this, Madhva tradition of rituals and stuff and so on. Okay, it's okay. He's still respectful of the devotees and stuff, but he thinks it's this for him. Another disciple, he left and became a Jehovah's Witness. He's very good. Very good, goes door to door. Yeah. And it's kind of like he feels, ISKCON has stuff, but it's like, Jehovah's Witness have maybe more Sankirtan spirit, right? These guys are some of them. You meet a 40-year Jehovah's Witness Sankirtan guy, these guys are, they're risking their lives and stuff and so on. And the Holy Spirit is guiding them. see this guy and stuff. And they, by the way, and I met people like this, and they're not out to convert you to their formalities or anything. They're quite happy that you're, doing God's work and stuff. And then later on, if you want to hear something from me or something, we'll talk about it. But yeah, come on, it's just there's one Christian minister. He said, if all the preachers and all the religions in the world go out every day, there still won't be enough preachers out there. So never discourage anybody, but try to help them purify their ideas. When I hear what Jesuit monks do, it's frightening. I mean, I think to be a Jesuit priest, you've got to risk your life once a year. I mean, really, risk your life once a year for Jesus. Okay, I don't do that. These guys, they go out and, okay, we're going to the Ukraine and preach the glories of Jesus Christ and stuff, And some of them, they don't come back, I think there's 1,600 Jesuit priests, which is basically sannyasis. And we have like about 160 sannyasis or something, 200. And, they're very inspiring. Okay, they're following the process with love, with determination, with sincerity, not doing it to get this or out of hate or anger, or something. No, we're following the process with some love. Love is there in the beginning. Then I give them the knowledge by what you should do. Okay, you should adopt this, you should adopt that. It's coming within the heart. Well, is it? Next verse, final verse says that. Okay. Tesham evanu kampartam. Tesham evanu kampartam. Aham agyana jam tamaha. Nasayami atmabhavasto. Nasayami atmabhavasto. Jnana dipena bastata. Translation. This is why we read books. That's the whole topic tonight. Just chant Hare Krishna or read books. This is our last lecture.
To show them special mercy, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance.
Yeah, to show them special mercy. How does he do it? Through books, right? Through gurus? Yeah. No, from within the heart. Yeah. This is the important point. One devotee, what's it, Bhakta Dev, probably gone by now. He was traveling around trying to find God. And so many people, this is just very natural from their childhood. Just investigating, looking. Other people know, looking for a job, So anyway, he was looking for God somehow or other in the middle of everything else. And he ended up in San Francisco in the 60s, and he saw these posters up there, Hare Krishna, Golden Gate Park, So he went there, and there was this big festival, and people there chanting, singing, whatever else, And then this old man started talking, And he kept on talking, and he wouldn't stop talking. And he finally became disgusted because he came to hear Hare Krishna talk, right? And this old guy wouldn't stop talking, so Hare Krishna never had a chance to talk. Okay, you see, he was thinking Hare Krishna was a person, And he was kicking himself when 10 years later, 50 years later, whatever it was, he realized he had been standing in front of Srila Prabhupada and had not been able to appreciate what he was saying, Yeah. Okay, well, maybe he wasn't ready. He was, to get the seeds. And then later on, when he was ready, he had memories. He had memories of seeing Prabhupada and stuff. And now he can maybe reevaluate those. So unless the Paramatma is enlivening us, even scriptures, how much can we understand, right? You read it again and again in different ways, and it starts to become more and more penetrating. Such a point tonight is that, actually probably said, without worshiping the deity, you can't understand Bhagavad Gita. Without worshiping the deities, you can't understand Bhagavad Gita. It is a very personal, emotional book. And so you have to have a personal relation with Krishna and understand it, more than just like some logic, And beyond that, the Paramatma chanting everything else in this age of Kali, just, Harunama, 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 Eva, Keva, Lo, Kalo, and Asteva. If you take it as Prabhupada's japa, his kirtan, then you can listen to it. During the japa time in the temple in Bombay or something, the Prabhupada were playing your japa tape, so devotees can hear it during the japa. And Prabhupada said, don't do that. They should be listening to their japa. Maybe as a background, there's something there, but that's the whole point. We should be chanting. Okay, that's good. and listening to it, right? Hearing and chanting. And then you can start to chant with some meaning. After saying it enough times, you begin to, what am I doing? You know, Bhakti yoga forces you onto the mental platform. Why am I making little circles with this smoking incense here? Like that, you know? Yeah. Yeah. No, is it the rituals are there and then they push you. I mean, then why? What's happening? Krishna likes fragrance. And so, that's just making circles, but it's what I'm trying to do is like, yeah. In the Catholic Church, they go around with these incensers things. Yeah, they're swinging them. And we do it. Well, we do it too. In Mayapur, they go around with these things. That's it. Apparently, was it incense before was not on these little sticks. It was, they would just put it right into the fire, different fragrances and stuff like that and so on. Sticks are more recent. Yeah. So yeah, you begin to understand, why am I doing this? What's the purpose? What's the goal? Why am I here? Well, I'm starting to wake up what the goal is. Oh, I'm okay. Yeah, that's what it is. So this is Prabhupada's kirtan, right? It's probably actually more likely it's Prabhupada's japa, right? Yeah, because he was doing this alone, silently. But Jiva Goswami, Prabhupada says that we can. He says we can, and it's nice, chant our japa loud enough for other people to hear. Because sometimes Prabhupada himself also defines japa as slow, silent chanting. Slow chant. We chant the Gayatri mantras as japa, right? Yeah, like that, slow, silent. Yeah. But then he said, no, Jiva Goswami said chant your rounds so people can hear you. Yeah. Maybe in certain circumstances you don't do it, or maybe you're so weak that just, you just can carry on. But yeah, you begin to discover you can carry on even though your whole body is almost dead. Yeah. So these books, that's the whole thing I would say. These books are probably something to his ecstasy, his private moments, and his japa. And you don't need a whole lot or something. It's the same thing again and again, many times. And he's hearing Sukadeva Goswami talk, and then he's repeating it for us. And he's hearing the purports, and he's repeating those purports in the fashion with his smarana, his comprehension. He's putting them in a way that we can understand them. Yeah. And he's also putting them in a way that he sees civilization for the next 10,000 years is going to develop. Prabhupada's vision, they asked Rabindra Swarup, he asked Prabhupada, what do we have to do to keep? Well, one Prabhupada said, like lecture, he said, in the future, we will have entire nations and armies and resources under our control, like that, and our authority. And then so Rabindra Swarup was thinking, yeah, the power tends to corrupt, right? Many people point that out. Power tends to corrupt. And absolute power, yeah. And the next phrase, Lord Acton, very interesting guy, Lord Acton. And then they don't quote the next line after that. Power tends to corrupt, and absolute power tends to corrupt absolutely. And therefore therefore almost all famous men, powerful men, have been bad men. Yeah. What's the guy? Uh, famous poet, the Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner. What's his name? Keats, not Keats. Kubla Khan. Oh, English major. Come on. Huh?
Wordsworth?
No, Kubla Khan.
Kubla Khan?
Yeah. Kubla Khan, ancient India. Oh boy. In pleasure domes, innumerable to man, down to the Alpha sacred river ran, down to the bottomless sea. He took opium. Yeah. His name, William Butler Yeats. It might have been. Anyway, big poet. I forgot why I mentioned him or something like that. Yeah. Uh, It said the same thing or something. Yeah. Anyway, by chanting Hare Krishna, right? We get this purification of heart for hearing Prabhupada's kirtan, japa. So it purifies our heart like that. And so not just, he says, not ink on paper, the personal ecstasies. So it's like hearing Prabhupada, but not only is it just the same phrase over and over again, which if you hear Prabhupada, he's chanting with meaning. All these purports are in the Maha Mantra. If you're listening to Prabhupada chanting, there's meaning there. But here it's coming down into our English language. And Prabhupada's looking, like we're saying, for how is this whole thing going to develop, right? So he's developing, writing it for the next 10,000 years, apparently. He'll participate in that. Maybe it'll change, How can these people understand that? And then different people are going to come along. We'll see the result. We'll be there. We'll have nations. We'll have everybody else under our control. So then Rabindra Swarup asked the question, Prabhupada, how do we keep from becoming corrupted? Huh? He said, Prabhupada thought, and he said, chant 16 nice rounds a day and follow the 4 principles, and you will be perfect. You will be pure. And Rabindra Swarup wasn't fully convinced. He said, Prabhupada, is that enough? And Prabhupada said, yes. Because Krishna won't let you cheat. I mean, you're sending 16 sloppy rounds and following the 4 principles loosely. Krishna will push you on that. He'll make things tough, everything else. It's a personal contract. So if you're trying to chant your rounds, it's Krishna. Yeah. When you need something, he'll push you through that. That's our point then, is that the 16 nice rounds, chanting Hare Krishna ourselves, is essential. Reading the purports out loud and everything else, and then trying to repeat them, hearing them from Prabhupada, and reading for the deities. One monk in the 16th century came into a monastery, and he was scandalized when he saw what another monk was doing. It was horrible. What was it? The monk was reading the Bible, and his lips weren't moving. My God. He was reading the Bible, and his lips weren't moving. Yeah, because that was just, what are these books for? To read by yourself? That's a very American thing, very egoistic thing. In India, there's 6 guys waiting for the bus. They're taking their tea and toast in the morning outside, and one guy buys a paper, right? In America, everybody has their own paper. And he's reading and says, oh, and so says this, so and so says that. And they all have their comments and go on. It's a verbal culture. It's more human, but we're like isolated. Okay, so read for your deities. They need the education. They need to hear these things, right? Let's go out and sit anywhere. That's enough preaching, right? Let's go out and read someplace. Hearing, chanting. When you do, you start to get this, smarnam. It comes, and then Krishna can direct you. Why don't you read this instead, or read that, or something? And he guides us, to become. And from the purport, Prabhupada says, if you belong to a totally bona fide spiritual movement, have a bona fide spiritual master, and you cannot take advantage of the movement, you cannot take advantage of your spiritual master, still you'll make progress if you're sincere, and so on. So somebody never contacted books. It's just they're sincere. And one guy was a Telegraph Avenue. I told you, he said, what's the Market Street in San Francisco? This guy was completely out of it. We hadn't bathed in, like, I don't know, 5 years or something. His skin was kind of here and there. He was wearing just like old clothes from rags. He stuffed newspapers inside to keep warm. And he was sitting on one of these little pedestals there on Market Street talking to himself or something, And he had some stuff there. And I noticed amongst all of this stuff, there was like something that looked like maybe like 3 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. It had no cover and no back. It was just like some Bhagavad Gita thing. They're just kind of like just hanging in there and stuff. And this guy was hanging on to it. Yeah. And so you don't need a lot. Just read a few phrases every now and again, and you go on. But if you want more, how many books do we have? 10, 20, 100? Depends on what size you buy. used to be how many? 35. The black set is 35 volumes. So the Srimad Bhagavatam was 35 volumes. Ordinary size. About 100 books, 100 volumes, ordinary size. Okay, any final questions or comments here? First our studio audience. Okay, now we'll give one for anybody who wants to talk from our so-and-so audience. Raise your hand. Okay, Hare Krishna. Okay, so now we're going to stop here. Anybody who wants to talk afterwards, we'll be here for a little bit longer like that. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. Nobody here.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Yes. And Monday we're going to Nashville for a few days. So we will be back in a few days. We'll be back in one day of Brahma. Hare Krishna. I guess I have effulgence as well. I guess I have effulgence now.
Anybody have any questions who are joined Zoom platform? Please raise your
You can
hand.
raise your hand. Reactions. Nobody raised their hand.
Everybody followed you, Maharaj. Nicely.
I'm,
They understood.
my face is still, you can see I still got the, where is it here? It's going away, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, it's getting
Going
better.
away.
All gone
Yeah,
away.
yeah. It's still aching. You know, if I had the, it saps a lot of energy, you know, in pain and stuff. It just pulls a lot of energy, the pain and stuff. You gotta, it's like, cause you know, something's dying, you know? Yeah. So if it doesn't diminish, I'll probably be gone within 3-4 weeks. But yeah, but it's going to diminish most likely. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Wow. Okay. Thank you.
Krishna, we can close this section. Hare Krishna. Maharaj is locked out.